to any other organizers or panelists on the line. When you are ready to begin the presentation, press the Start Broadcast button on the GoToWebinar control panel to allow all attendees to hear you. This system will notify you once you begin your broadcast. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. We're going to start today's session. So, in yesterday's session, we were looking at BODS transformations. So, in today, we continue the transformations with a new transformation called SQL transform. We'll see the new transformation called SQL transform. So from tomorrow, we will going to start with SLT, SAP Landscape Transformation. So click Start, click All Program, click Data Services 4.2, and click on the Data Services Workbench. Let us log into HANA and BODS. Let us log into HANA. We'll also log into BODS. So yesterday I shown you, we'll see the execution of this. So if you execute one of the jobs, Mainly we wanted to see this job on the selective import of metadata. I was supposed to show you this, but yesterday the license key was not updated. I think we used a different server, right, yesterday? Yeah, we used a different server to execute. But in our server, you can just test to execute. So we applied the license and it is working now. After the execution of the job, just execute the job. So it's successful. Please try the exercises. Again, the license will expire again after 45 days. So for every 45 days, we need to apply the temporary license. That is why we were not able to execute in our server yesterday. Now it is applied, you can execute. Okay, coming to the next topic, which is SQL transform. So right click on the project, click new, click on the data flow. Give the name and the description, click finish. So what is an SQL transform? Use SQL transform to read data using native SQL statements. You can read data from native SQL statements. For example, if I select this table, drag and drop this, if I select this transform, drag and drop onto the data flow editor, you see there is no input for SQL transform. We only see there is an output. So what I'm going to do here is, we'll basically select let's go to HANA. Let's go to any of the views. Let us go to any of the views in HANA. So I'll just select okay, so I'll right click on any of the view and click data preview. And click raw data. So this is the output of the view. When I click on show log, click on show log, double click on generated SQL. So this is the SQL statement that is generated based on this view. So I'll copy the entire SQL statement. I'll copy this statement. So we're trying to read the native HANA SQL statement. I'll copy this. I'll go back to Data Services Workbench. Click on SQL Transform. We need to select the data store. The data store here is HANA. Copy paste the SQL statement. Click validate. Your SQL was successfully validated. Click OK and click detect schema. So when you click on detect schema, so this is the output schema. You see there is no input for this transform, but how am I able to read data is using this SQL statement. So once we read data using the SQL statement, so we scroll to the bottom. So you see there are different columns. All these columns are nothing but the output of the analytic view. So I'm trying to read analytic view based on these SQL statements, and based on that I'm trying to read the schema. So I'll select the query transform. I'll drag and drop the query transform. Link SQL transform to query. And from here, I would like to distribute data to different target systems. For example, I would select template table, drag and drop onto the work area. I select the data store, click on this icon, double click. So HANA is the data store, or let's say I would not like to take to HANA, I will take to MS SQL. I will take this to MS SQL. Owner is DBO. Table name is JED COPA underscore actual underscore data. And click OK. And link query to table. I select the query. So this is the input schema of the query. I'll select required columns to the output. I'll select all the required columns, select and drag and drop onto the query transform. So these are the columns I would like to take to MS SQL. And this is the output of the table. So when I click on the template table, so this is the output. So based on this, a table structure is going to create in MS SQL. If you click on the columns, so all these are the column names. So I'll click validate, click on validate, click close, and click execute. Click yes, and click finish. So what are we trying to do is, using an SQL transform, we are not actually importing the view or any tables. In the runtime, based on the code that is available, I'm reading the code, the select statement. So we're using the select statement, or you can write your own custom code. You can manipulate data by writing formulas. Click view trace log. Job is completed successfully. Click start. Click all program. Microsoft SQL Server 2012. Click on SQL Server Management Studio. Login is best. Provide the password. Click OK. Expand database. Expand database. Let us expand best schema. Expand tables. So the name of the table here. So what's the name of the table? Get COPA underscore actual underscore data. So I'll go back. Get COPA underscore actual underscore data. Get COPA underscore actual underscore data. Right click on the table and select top 1000 rows. Select top 1000 rows. So here you see the customer information, gross revenue, net revenue. Then we populated this table using SQL transform into the target. Now here you also have template file. Template file is when we do not have the structure of the file. TC use template file loader to load data to a file without having to create a file format. So we don't need to have any format of the file. Just we need to give the path of the file, the data is uploaded to the file. And then you can use those files to upload to different downstream systems. So I'll take a template file, drag and drop. I'll take a template file, drag and drop. Link query to the file. Link query to the file. So in the query transform, we'll select a file on the desktop. So in the root directory, the file names, you can select any file over here. I'll just create a new file. I'll just create a new file. So here we have a file. Right click on the file, click open. So here we have the name of the file. Click close. Double click on the file. So here we have file name. So I'll validate and execute. Click yes. But we need to make sure that we have authorization to write data into this file. We need to have a privilege to write data into because the file is on my client machine. It is not on the application server. So because the file is on the client machine, we need to have privilege to write on this file. Click Finish. So completed successfully. We'll just try to open this file. So this is the name of the file. Let us right click and open. So once we open, select. So these are the entries. So this is the template file. So automatically the data from table is exported to file. And here, this is the header. So what is the difference between a template file? What is the difference between a template file and file loader? So in the file loader, we have the structure of the file. One template file, we do not have the structure. For example, we copy this, copy the file again, copy paste. Copy this, paste. If I open the file, I'll open the file. I'll copy paste the header here. Just copy the header here. I'll copy the header and paste in this. Let us click save. Yes. So in here you have, header of the file, and here you have header and data inside the file. So now just give me 2 minutes, please. I'll just find out why it is unable to connect. Okay, I think we got connected back. Systems got restarted. Yeah, just give me a few minutes. System got some down. System got down. I'm going to restart the services of the system. Just give me a few minutes. I'll just restart the system. Just give me a few minutes. Suddenly it got restarted on its own. Okay, so what we want to do here is, excuse me. So here we have SQL transform. So here we have SQL transform. So we're basically loading data to the template file. So now I would like to replace this. I would like to replace this file with a physical file. So when we say physical file, it's nothing but which already has a structure in the structure in the file, which is known as file loader. So this is nothing but to show file loader. So this is the file which has the structure here, but I don't have any data here. So in order to load data when you have structure in the file, so we'll use file loaders. So I'll go back. So instead of template file, I'll delete this. I'll choose file loader, drag and drop, data store. Sorry. File loader, drag and drop. Select the file format. We haven't taken any file format, so I'll just take this file format. So this is the file format. Select this file format, drag and drop as target. You can take this or you can use file loader. Anything is same. You can use file loader or drag and drop this file format. So in the file format, click on show list of values. Select the file format, click OK and OK. So both are same. So you can use either one of them. So this is the target. So to this target, we're going to specify the path of the file. So in the root directory, select the file path, click select, and then file name. The file name here is, I think this is the file name. Let's open this. So this is the file name. I'll select this file, double click. So this is the target. To this target, this is the path of the file. Query to the file and then validate. You can see the This is wrong file. Okay, it's pointing to the wrong file. Okay, so now it's reading this input schema and going to write in this file. So I'll execute this job and click finish. Just I'm trying to show you the difference between table loader and template file. Table loader needs to have the structure already, whereas template file will generate the structure in the runtime. So that is the difference. Table loader has a fixed structure, whereas template file will generate the structure on the fly. When the job is being executed, at that point of time, it will generate the file. But for table loader, already the file is already existing. So once we go back to the file, we should be able to write data into the file. Still job is being executed. The job is being executed. So that is the only difference between template file and file loader. Let this job execute. So meanwhile, so the source system, we know we have development, quality and production. Even for BODS we have development, quality and production, and also HANA development, quality and production. Now we are designing these ETL flows. We are designing these ETL flows in the BODS. Now how are you going to transport data models from ECC development to QA and QA to production, or even HANA models from QA to development to QA and QA to production? For BODS, we'll transport these projects. So basically, to upload these projects into execute. So in BODS, you can export this. You can export these projects. You can right click on any of the project and export. Click export. Select file system. Next. So here you have different projects. What project you want to select? So you can select multiple projects to the directory. Which directory? You can select all this and you can write to a directory, or you can click browse and then you can make a new folder on the desktop. Say BODS underscore project 1. BODS underscore project 1. Click OK. And then click finish. So once you click finish, the project is exported to the BODS project 1 folder. You double click on this. So these are different projects. Where all the different ETL flows are stored. So what we can do this, we can re-import them. So you can go to the quality, import the existing projects. You can select the file, select the file BODS projects, click OK. So you can select what projects you want to add, because these projects are already existing. That's why it's not allowing me to check this. Let's say if I delete one of the project, if I delete this sales project, I'll delete this, click OK, I'll click OK, I'll click file, click existing, import existing projects, again select the root directory, click OK. So now the other two projects are existing over here. That's why I'm unable to import. So this is the project that we newly created, and click finish. Or you can add to the working projects and click finish. Once you click finish, the sales project is back. So always you can export and import projects from Workbench in order to work on the UI part. So once we export, we need to check the dependencies. Now the ETL flow that is there in the development, now we have in the QA system. Always these ETL flows need to point to the tables. So before we actually transport them, we have to transport all the dependent tables from the source, from development to QA. And only once we transport and then execute the jobs in BODS, and these jobs will trigger transfer data to target system, which is HANA. So we need to remember the dependencies already need to be transported from ECC development to ECC quality. So this will be taken care by, if any custom tables are there, the transporting of these objects will be taken care by the source system team. Like most of them are ABAPers, or from the database background. They're going to do the transport, and they're going to inform us, okay, all these dependent tables are moved to quality, and now you can execute the jobs. So these execution of jobs is done in batch mode. So executing of these jobs is done in batch mode. So the job execution is done in Data Services Management Console. So we have shortcuts folder. Once you double click on shortcut folder, so you see something called Data Services Management Console. Double click on the Management Console, provide the username and password, click log on. So here you see administrator, click on administrator. So here we see best. So inside the best, here you see there are different jobs that are executed. So here you can see the trace log, monitor log, performance monitor, the trace, the execution of the job log monitor. Any errors are there, it is going to show in job error log. So in the administrator, you can see batch job configuration. Click on the batch job configuration. In the batch job configuration and the repository schedules. So here you can add a schedule. What time you want to execute this job. So you can add a schedule to this job. Click add schedule. Provide the schedule name. You can give the schedule name. Data services scheduler. You can select the month of the day, day of the month in which you want to execute this job. You want to do it once or multiple times a day, and then you can apply. Once we apply, this job will become active. So once we apply, so here we see the schedule has been added. Now when the schedule is being added, you can see the status of schedules. So click back. All the jobs which are active, you can see the jobs that are active over here. Once a job is active, the jobs which are active you can see in the, so what is the day, what is the time, once a day. So these are the active jobs that are currently active is yes. So if you want to remove unwanted jobs, you can click remove, or if you want to activate the jobs, you can select deactivate. Activate is no. You can select and click activate. Activate is yes. Means the job is ready to be scheduled. So you can add schedules at SAP Data Services Management Console. In here you can add schedule. So based on the schedule recurring, the job is going to execute at the time that you specify over here. So this is nothing but the batch job execution. So any questions participants have, please ask me. Sorry, in between, due to power fluctuation, the server went down. Still the HANA system is down. It is not yet up. Only we made a BODS system up for now, just to continue the session. Give me another 30 minutes. We will make HANA, ECC, all the other systems as usual. Once I finish the class, I will look into that aspect and make the systems up. So please see, Data Services Management Console. Data Services Management Console is mainly for scheduling of the jobs. So you can go to the scheduling of the jobs to the Data Services Management Console. We can provide what is the job name, what is the schedule name. You see, in the batch job configuration, once you click on the administrator, click on the batch job configuration. Click on the batch job. So these are the different jobs that are executed. You see, all these are different jobs. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to, trying to add schedule. You can add schedule and specify the time in which you want to execute the job. If you want the job to be recurring every day at the same time, once a day at the same time, apply the job, apply, apply the job, click on the administrator, click on the repository schedules. The schedule just now is not active, so I'll just select this and click activate. Once I click activate, the schedule is active now. So based on the schedule of the job will be executed at regular intervals of time. Okay, thank you everyone to attend today's session. So just give me another half an hour. You can access all the systems as usual. Thank you and see you tomorrow. We'll start with SLT, SAP Landscape Transformation. And participants who would like to uh, go through the data provisioning topics, please go through the book HA350. There is a book called HA350. HA350 is the book for data provisioning. You can refer that book for data provisioning. So you'll have different ways to provision data like BODS, SLT, DXC, smart data access, event stream processing, and then how to upload using flat files. All these different ways of provisioning data is there in the HA350 book. Thank you. So we'll see you tomorrow, same time. We'll start with the SLT topic. Have a good morning to everyone and good night. Thank you.